James earns millions from internet marketing.
Tim's got millions of questions.
Welcome to Freedom Ocean. Now, jump on in.
James Schramko, welcome back to the Freedom Ocean, my friend.
I love the Freedom Ocean.
I do too. What do you love about it?
Well, I love the fact that it's so wide open. There's really no limit, and that is exciting because it challenges you. It makes you feel alive.
Yep. The ocean is one of the great energy sources, so I think we're onto something there. Mate, we've covered a lot in the first 3 episodes. I would love, as I said at episode 2, I would still love to be able to say we've been inundated with inquiries and questions and listener feedback, but it's still the same day that we started episode 1 at. So we're just rolling out these episodes one after the other, and they will slowly find their way onto iTunes. So I reckon by about episode 5 or 6 or 7, we can actually confidently say we've got some feedback.
Yes, well, this is something interesting about internet marketing, which is the topic of our entire podcast series here, is that quite often you'll be creating content or putting out a business model where you don't really know for certain if it's going to be successful. You might be able to filter it down and get it close to the mark, and I think we'll probably cover that in one of today's topics, which is the biggest mistakes that people make.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the great things about internet marketing too, though, is that the risk is not as high as it would be if you were actually, going to a bricks and mortar business or, carrying huge amounts of stock, or, the barriers to entry just aren't as high, are they?
Yeah, and that means a few things. One is just about any lunatic can get online and be your competitor.
Yeah, that's right.
A low barrier to entry.
Hello to all you lunatics.
Also means that, anyone can get online. So there is a little bit of noise and a bit of clutter. And the good thing about it, though, if you're listening to this podcast, which I'm guessing you are because you're hearing me right now,
correct,
then you will have a far greater advantage than the average person online. And that's what is essential. When you do the online thing, get the best information you can and implement it, and you will be able to shine compared to the competitors.
Yeah. And look, you and I, just before we hit the record button on this episode, had a great discussion. In fact, you gave me some fantastic advice, and penny really started to drop to see just how easy it can be. There's magic in the action, there's no doubt about that. The modular nature of everything we're talking about, how one can slip easily into the other. One plays off the other, one adds value to the other. So the idea of maybe running webinars and then turning that into some product that has some affiliate links in it, which off the back of that allows you to build a list that you can then feed additional information to. And gosh, fantastic to be able to sort of see that as a...
It really is like Legoland.
Yeah, it is. Don't cheapen it.
Well, no, I don't think Lego's cheap, by the way.
No, I don't.
You've got kids.
It's fantastic.
Love Lego, but you can snap lock these things into different formations. And what I'd like us to achieve is to have our audience get comfortable with the building blocks. And once they're empowered with that, it's amazing what you can create. So I think we should push through, get into the next phase.
Well, before we talk about things to avoid when launching an internet marketing business, I'm just interested to ask you, what would you, if you were starting out today, what would you do differently from when you started out 6 years ago?
Okay, well, the biggest mistake I made was trying to find everything for free. And we sort of covered that in the last discussion. And that is, I think it took me a full 9 or 10 months. I can't remember exactly, but about that long until I bought my first ebook for $30-something. And I was just loath to spend money on this thing. But here's the funny thing: I was getting paid about $300,000 a year in my job, and I was in a professional field where we paid thousands for people to get trained in how to sell, and yet I wouldn't spend even $30 on an information product that would teach me how to learn internet marketing faster. So here I was for hours and hours and hours fumbling my way through from the most basic level, of even trying to learn how to use the computer. And I mean, I should have seen it so much earlier. And the core lesson that I got then is, since I switched on to getting the right information, there's not a resource that I won't buy at the drop of a hat if it is the right resource, if it's going to save me time, and if I can make more money back than what I spend on it. I am all over it.
Yeah, that's good advice, because there is a lot. Well, there is a lot of stuff out there, and some of it you can look at the price and go, oh, gee, is that really going to give me some of the return that I'll need to cover the cost? But you have to bite the bullet and buy some stuff. Because, the funny thing is, funny or not, there's a lot better quality of information online than going down to the local bookshop.
There's heaps of stuff, and people have already done just about everything you could think of and taken it to a higher level.
Yep.
And you can
and very niche information online. And I was in a bookshop, a really good bookshop the other day, and there was this really quite good-looking book on Twitter. I thought, that'd be pretty cool. And I went to buy it. I thought, you know what? Anything in that book, A, is outdated, and B, I'm going to find that and better online as an information product. Probably
that's
cheaper
right.
too.
Well, you'll probably stumble over some high-quality free podcasts, for example.
Yeah.
Now, I want to just caution people about free, because I see this as some type of obsession online. People looking for free. And I want to challenge that, because I don't know of many businesses where everything is free. A real business has got costs. Even a restaurant, they have to buy food, they have to pay staff, and they've got to get furniture and kitchen appliances and stuff. Now, if they got everything for free, would you be worried about where they got that from?
Yeah, exactly.
Are they like cruising the streets at night looking for spare tables and chairs?
You get what you pay for, huh?
I think if you're careful and you do your research, yes, you can make wise purchasing decisions that are going to fast track your success. So don't be obsessed with free this, free that. In almost every case, the paid version of a solution will give you more features and a better result than the free version, with the exception of some of the most established items out there, such as Google, for example. I mean, that's a free thing that has fantastic level of deliverability for things like Gmail, for managing email. It's probably better than Outlook, which is the Microsoft paid, solution. So,
as an internet marketer, can you give away too much for free?
I think you can train your customers to never buy anything from you. So there is that element. I think it's something you have to be careful of.
See a lot of it. People would argue that, you can't give away too much, because if they love what you're giving away, they're going to kind of want to come and buy from you and use your services anyway. But there is a lot being given away, and it just cheapens the other stuff.
Yeah, well, there's a few arguments either way, but in any case, you will, as an internet marketer, or within your internet marketing division or campaigns, you will have some free content at some point, more than likely, as an entry point for people, because there's really no resistance to free. People don't guard their time as much as they should. Therefore, they'll go out of their way to get something for free, even if it takes them 10 hours, versus a 10-minute paid solution in some cases.
Yep.
So, it's fascinating. Someone will drive across town to save $3 on an item and spend $4 in petrol. So people do go a bit crazy with free stuff.
What else would you do differently?
The other thing is, I wouldn't fuss so much about design elements in the beginning. I spent a lot of hours mucking around with my web templates. I actually learnt too many things. That's probably the third one. You don't need to know a lot of the stuff that you might think you need to know. If you were to say to me, Tim, I'm not a tech person, I'd say, well, that's fine. You don't have to be, because there's plenty of tech people, as we covered in the other episodes, for $5 or $20 will do things that might take you a month to learn.
Yep.
And why would you do that? You just wouldn't. So I actually learnt how to do it.